few weeks ago, by the time you're seeing this video, I posted a video going through the aretheStraights and aretheSokay subreddits. There's one more subreddit I haven't gone through before. In that same vein, you know, aretheBlankOkay. And that subreddit is aretheNeurotypicals. Okay. There's a lot of prefaces I have to get before I get into this video. First of all, if you don't know what neurotypical means, neurotypical is the opposite of neurodivergent. These are two relatively newer, more modern terms to describe people who have the neurodivergent are people who have like developmental disabilities or who have, you know, disorders like OCD, like ADHD. Neurodivergent is basically anyone who doesn't have like a disability or disorder like that. That's literally it. Now that we've got that out of the way, there's one more preface I have to give for this. I am not diagnosed with anything like autism or OCD, okay? Now, I do have diagnosed anxiety and depression, but that's neither here nor there. For a long time, I've always felt different than everyone. I've had a lot of experiences that have made me, the past couple of years, categorize myself as someone who's most likely, probably definitely on the spectrum. And I've had a lot of experiences that have also placed me in the diagnoses requirements for OCD throughout my life. And as I've learned more about both of these things, I've realized that those are both diagnoses that likely apply to me. I'm not going to get into all the fucking personal shit, but essentially what happened was last October, I had like a evaluation for autism, and it was a very bad experience for me. What ended up happening was the report that psychologist that I saw gave me, I could tell that she was not very well versed in diagnosing people with like me specifically. She misgendered me in the whole thing. She didn't call me a she or something, but she called me they, even though I've never in my life gone by they, them, and I never will. Yet she still called me that. And I look normal on this day too. I was dressed in normal clothes. I don't even look like I did look now. Even if I look like I look now, that's not an excuse to misgender someone. Okay, I don't know what people think that they're like, I don't know, this is a whole other topic, but people think they're like being nicer by calling everyone they, but for a lot of people, it's actually really upsetting to get called they when you're like a he or a she, okay? But that's a whole other topic. So that was one thing, and then the rest of it just, I read it and it was just like, this doesn't sound like me at all. And it was very, I don't know, it made me disassociate. When you feel so strongly about something about yourself and you know that you suffer with things or your brain works differently, or you go through things that the average person does not go through, like you experience anxiety, sadness, burnout, whatever, on a completely, or sensory stimulation, whatever, on a completely different level playing, it's not a level playing field, on a completely different fucking football field than everyone else. They're over there fucking playing the game, and then you're over here on by your fucking self playing the game on your own. You're trying to be fucking the goalie, the kicker, the fucking quarterback, the fucking wide receiver, the fucking tight end, all at once, okay? That's a game I'm fucking playing. And then to get told by someone, just from a 2-hour conversation you have with them, actually, there's nothing actually about you that makes your life harder. You're just anxious. It was really upsetting. So, no, I have not been formally diagnosed with anything. No, I do not care if you think that makes me lesser than or an attention seeker or whatever. Let me tell you right now, and this is the only time I'm ever going, this is the last thing I'm going to say about this before we actually get into the video. If you lived a day in my head, you would be thinking the exact same thing I am, okay? You would be a little worried too. And I've had to live in this head for over 2 decades. So you'd think I know myself pretty well, and I do. So you can fuck. So with all that being said, yes, I am going to be looking at this subreddit. This subreddit is the same as aretheStraights okay, aretheSisOkay. It's the same concept. It's neurotypical people who don't understand autism specifically, who don't understand ADHD or whatever, who don't understand being neurodivergent. And it's like, hey, are they okay? Because this is fucking insane. Everything causes autism nowadays. I'm not gonna say that, but there's something I happened to me when I was a child. Let's move on. Our first post. This was tweeted by the @rightwingcope Twitter account, which I was very well versed with until I deleted my Twitter. Thank fucking God. Life after that was like, I'm finally fucking seeing colors for the first time. It was like when Logan Paul put on those fucking colorblind glasses. I was like, oh my God. It was insane. And then I finally deleted my account, and I feel so free. Hey, at Target, are you okay with people selling books that deny the existence of ADHD on your website? To answer that, yes, they are. The book is very to the point. It's titled, ADHD Does Not Exist. Millions of other people would argue otherwise, but let's read a review that someone left on this. Philip says, great family read. My son, 15, says he has ADHD, and also his liberal doctor. First off, he is just like any other kid and does not have ADHD. I stopped getting him the pills that control him. He complains to me, and so does his doctor. But as long as he's in my house, and he's my property, so no ADHD medication. Overall, a great read and helps show you the truth. Not the only problem, but the main problem with this is he's in my house, he's my property. There's been a lot of debate online for a long time that children are one of the most marginalized groups that we never really talk about, and that just further proves this point. I mean, really think about it. Children have literally no agency, and then they have parents who actually think that they own them, that their children are not individual human beings. Sure, they can't go to college yet, can't join the military yet. They're not of legal age yet to have sexual intercourse legally with a 50-year-old man. Okay, sure, but they're still people. They still have brains that work, especially when they're teenagers. Well, at any age, but especially when they're teenagers and they become more actualized human beings, they do have a mind of their own, and I guess this kid's mind has ADHD, and, well, I feel sorry for him. One time, my school did an autism simulation. This reminds me, there's this video on YouTube. I don't know when I watched it, I don't know why I watched it, but it's called like an autism simulation, and I can't even remember what happened in it. You know what? Let's watch it right now. I don't know, I literally feel like me can't, but all I remember was like it was really bright and colorful. What about colorblind autistic people, guys? Anyway, it was really bright, and there was like, everything was warped, and it was like pearlescent everything for some reason, but then everything was loud and annoying, and it's like, well, yeah, most things are loud and annoying, to be honest. Okay, let's look it up. Autism simulation. Autism simulator video. Autism simulator game. Oh my god. Okay, I'm not screen recording this either. You can fuck right off, I don't care. Can you make it to the end? What? What does that mean? Okay, I have to screen record this. This is insane. The National Autistic Society post, can you make it to the end? Make it stop. What is, oh my god. The party, a virtual experience of autism. I don't know, things like this are crazy because like there's no like way that it's like for everyone, obviously. Everyone processes things differently, so like this is just crazy. I don't recognize any of these. I think the one I watched was likely this one, can you make it to the end? So let's check this out. The little blinks are a nice added touch. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is like fucking triggering me. Okay, wait. What's the Dark Knight Joker? What? What does that mean? He's black! Jeez, I wish my mom was fucking that supportive. Okay, this is like actually making me upset, so I'm gonna turn that off. I don't think that was the one I watched, but that one was genuinely distressing. Anyway, let's move on from that. Let's finish reading this text message. They had us write down the lyrics to Mary Had a Little Lamb while singing the ABCs, and they flickered all the lights and were like, that's what it's like to be autistic. Listen, I don't think things like that are a good thing pretty much overall, because like I said, everyone processes things differently. Everyone's different. Not necessarily everyone's like bothered by every noise and every sound and every light or whatever, you know what I mean? But some of you are still watching this, you're like, you're not actually autistic. You self-diagnosed yourself, you don't know what you're talking about. That is what my brain feels like though. If there's too much stuff going on, it does feel like I'm in class Someone's singing the ABCs. I'm trying to write down Mary Had a Little Lamb. You know. Some guy's in the corner saying, if he puts the lotion on, or else it gets the house again. And then there's like, what else? The lights are flickering all the time. That is kind of what it feels like. I'm not gonna lie. It just, what it feels like is like, there's no way to simulate it. I guess that video maybe is kind of a good representation, but it's not an accurate representation of fucking everyone everywhere. Obviously, that's a downside, obviously. It does feel like, it's just like you notice everything. When I go to Walmart, right, which Walmart is significantly louder than like my local grocery store. There's just too much stuff going on in there. Like, I'll go to the self-checkout. Everyone's checking out at the same time, the line, there's like 5 people in line. I'm like rushing through the self-checkout. I black out. I'm dead ass serious. I black out. I leave Walmart, I put my groceries in my car, I'm driving away, and I could not tell you what happened while I was checking out. Like, I'm so serious. It's like my brain just actually shuts off, and I'm just like checking everything out because there's too much stuff going on. I cannot actually process it in this situation. And then I walk out and I'm like, this is crazy. Next one's crazy. I gotta zoom in on this because this is so crazy. This is Chris. He is a professionally diagnosed autistic. This is Chris. He's a professional autistic. Chris has like severe Stockholm syndrome. He says, I just want to live my life like everyone else. I do too, but I can't. So this is Xylee. This is like the anti-Kylie Jenner. They are a self-diagnosed autistic who wants to feel special and be different. And that's why I self-diagnosed myself, is I want to feel special. Actually, it's because I've always felt different and people purposefully ostracized me my entire life. And then I found a label that I actually fit in, and it made me feel like I actually had a place to fit in for once. And then I go to the doctor and they tell me that that's not actually true. A little traumatizing. Let's move on. Well, let's just look at what Xylee has blue hair. Xylee's got a choker on. Xylee probably hooks a little chain onto that choker and does doggy play. That's how freaky Xylee is. She's fucking freaky and weird. She's probably asexual too. What does that even mean? I don't know. She says ooh-woo. So she's a fucking, what's it called? Weeaboo too. Functioning labels are ableist. I personally wouldn't consider them ableist. I think they can be they cannot accurately represent a one person's singular experience. They can be helpful in clinical situations, right? If you're looking for treatment of someone, it could be helpful to know that this person needs significantly more support than another person. Okay, that can be helpful. Nothing wrong with acknowledging that someone needs more help than you. But I can come to a point where people who don't require a lot of support don't get any support. That's like the problem, right? It's like, well, you mask really well. You seem like you function really well in day-to-day life. You don't need any help at all because you hide it well enough that it doesn't really matter. It's like people who hide their depression really well. You don't think that one day they're going to kill themselves. And then, you get Robin Williams. It's like, what happened? Just because you hide something well doesn't mean that you don't need help. By the way, I once read on Twitter once, some woman posted that she had sex with a guy once and he was having sex with her inner thigh. Like the space between her inner thigh and her actual vulva. And I read that and I'm like, Asperger's is a slur. Self-diagnosis, it's valid. You realize that people get like less support if they self-diagnose, right? They don't, if they're not actually professionally diagnosed, they will receive less support because they don't have an actual diagnosis. Functioning levels are rooted in ableism. Okay, you already said that. The DMS-5's ableist, and the psychiatrists that made it are all white supremacist. It might be true. I mean, a lot of it is white focused. That's a real thing that has happened, is they really only diagnosed cisgender, heterosexual white men for a long time. I don't know if they were all white supremacists, but it's a possibility. Maybe instead of having someone say something that you don't understand or agree with, you hear them out first before being a fucking asshole. OMG, please don't say the R slur around me. I am literally shaking right now. What's wrong with that one? This is why I said that Chris has Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, you can say the R word around me, right? He's black. He's probably like, yeah, I'll give you the N-word pass too. What's next? He's gay? Chris is dressed normal. He's wearing normal people clothes. This is a long story. It's totally fucking unrelated to this video, but when do I not do that? I don't know if I've ever told this story. I do own guns. I go hunting. I'm not gonna say I like guns. I'm not a gun person. I wouldn't even call it a hobby of mine. It's a thing that I want to know how to do and do it well so that worst comes to worst, I gotta hunt my own food. I can actually do it. It's something that I care about, but I'm not a gun person. I wouldn't even, like, I have like a top 5 list of personality traits about me or like hobbies. It wouldn't even reach the top 10, I don't think. One day I went into one of my local gun stores. I wanted to ask them about their bulk ammunition for my shotgun. Long story short, the way that people, and this is just an experience I've had a ton of times, the way that people who are very like gun people, like their whole thing is they like guns, they know guns, they shoot guns for a hobby. Those kind of people, the way that they treat people who aren't like as fucking into it as they are is insane. The way that I walked in there, and again, I'm dressed like a normal person this day. I go in there and I'm asking this guy, and everyone's looking at me like I got fucking six heads, like I'm fucking a hydra or some shit. I'm like, the fuck? Okay, I just want to ask you a fucking question. Why are you looking at me like that right now? They got something on my face that says, pick me to pick on. It's like they smell me and they know something's off. I was like, Hey, just making sure you're awake. Kids in 1999.
I collect Pokemon.
Got little white Johnny over there in his little suburb community with the fucking perfectly 2-inch manicured grass lawns, carrying his stupid little fucking Pokemon card. All right. And on the bottom we have kids in 2022. I collect mental disorders. And it's a lesbian. Oh no. We got the lesbian with pink hair. She got a choker on. Put an Antifa badge on her too. Makes her even worse. This lesbian, not only does she not like men, she doesn't like Hitler. What? Kids in 1999, they had mental disorders. That wasn't that long ago. Acting like 1999 is like the fucking Stone Ages. They had fucking computers back then. The fuck are you talking about? The idea that there are like very, very few, like sparse people in the world who want to have a mental illness because they want to feel victimized in some way. On top of that, a lot of people who have mental disorders, they already have other marginalized identities. They don't need to be victimized in another way. They're the only people who are like making up stuff to be marginalized about, or people who don't have anything to actually be marginalized about. You know, the thing that is favored the most online is negative reactions, big outlandish things, right? You're gonna see a lot of people online who are actually faking stuff, or they're just making up stuff to feel marginalized or whatever. The vast majority of people in life don't do that. Most people don't want to have a mental illness or disorder or whatever. Most people don't want to be bipolar or whatever. Most people don't want to have OCD or whatever. These illnesses, these disorders, they're debilitating. You think I want to say that I'm like a 99% sure I have OCD? I don't. I would prefer if that thought never occurred in my head, but it does, along with many other thoughts that I cannot control that well, okay? I would love if I wasn't, obsessive about the food I eat to the point where if I eat one cracker, I have to have another 2 crackers because the crackers need to be in the order of 3. And I have 3 crackers, and you have 3 crackers in between breakfast and lunch, and then another 3 in between lunch and dinner so that everything's even. Do you think I want to think like this? And that's a fucking tip of the iceberg. If you get in the bottom depths of my brain, guys, I'm not joking, okay? You get treated worse. Your life is harder. I don't understand why people think that people choose marginalized identities because it's fun. It's not. It's like the farthest thing from fun, and especially in today in America. A poster at my school, autism facts. Autism affects 1 in 68 children. Well, that's different now. Now it's apparently 1 in 32. A national crisis. Autism is the fastest growing developmental disability in the US. It's growing faster than a forest fire. Autism costs a family $60,000 per year. How? Like, I guess if you have a child with high support needs, like an aide or something, I don't understand that. Autism research receives less than 5% of the funding of many less prevalent childhood diseases. Now that's a fact. No, that's an interesting statistic. Why aren't they receiving more research, right? No one's receiving any research now, but whatever. Boys are nearly 5 times more likely, 1 in 42, than girls have autism, 1 in 189. That's probably not true. Because say it with me, girls have historically been undiagnosed and other autism, right? Girls exhibit autism traits differently than boys, so people were not diagnosing them for a long time, even though there are many autistic women. There is no medical detection or cure for autism. There is medical detection. It's called a diagnosis. No, there is not a cure because it's your brain. I guess the best cure would be a lobotomy. Oh, geez. I better not give them any ideas. They're going to start doing that next week. All right, the next one. This is a doozy. Well, we all knew when this happened. It's the video of Elon Musk doing the Nazi salute. Someone, this Redditor says that this is a Newsweek columnist, apparently. She decides to, quote, retweet the video of him doing this, and she says this. As a person with a strong track record of criticizing Elon Musk, I feel extremely confident asserting that this was not a Nazi salute. Elon Musk is a friend to the Jews.
Why are we still here?
This is a man with Asperger's exuberantly throwing his heart to the crowd. We don't need to invent outrage. Now, when this happened, when this happened, the first thing I said to my mom the day after, when she started arguing with me about this, because of course she did, I said to her, if it wasn't a Nazi salute, why don't you do it right now? Go on, do exactly what he did right now. You know what? She didn't do it. Did you think I was going to say she did it? No. The other thing about this that was really funny is how these pro-Israel organizations like the ADL, I'm pretty sure Stop Anti-Semitism, which doxes and harasses people who say anything even remotely anti-Israel. They also tweeted something about this, but I vividly remember the ADL. They posted a tweet about this, and I want to look it up exactly because ADL, Elon Musk salute.
This is a delicate moment. It's a new day, and yet so many are on edge. Our politics are inflamed, and social media only adds to the anxiety. It seems that Elon Musk made an awkward gesture in a moment of enthusiasm, not a Nazi salute. But again, we appreciate that people are on edge. In this moment, all sides should be given one another a bit of grace, perhaps even the benefit of the doubt. Take a breath. This is a new beginning. Let's hope for healing and work toward unity in the months and years ahead.
Well, IDF soldiers, when they shoot innocent Palestinians in the head with a sniper rifle, it's just an awkward gesture. Oops, I just pulled the trigger. Couldn't see where the sniper rifle was going. Asmongold continues his political reign of terror, saying things that absolutely no human being should ever utter. Unfortunately, I think I have to watch a video of him to remember what he sounds like. Thankfully, I maybe watched 2 minutes of this man talk in my life, and I'm gonna try to keep it to 2 minutes. So let's Asmongold. What's he saying? Let's watch what is about my dad. Sorry, that's a bit. I hate the guy, but I'm not going to use that one as a. These people are fucking evil. Oh, I wonder what that one's about. Something insane happened today. I also wonder what that one's about. Okay, let's pick one that's not about politics. Even though he'll probably find a way to say something awful. The disturbing reality of drive-thrus, Asmongold reacts. He probably said something about how fat people eat McDonald's and how he hates fatties. I bet $100 he said that.
People who pass by more fast food restaurants have a higher likelihood of being obese. And if this
What did I talk about fat people? Fucking 6 seconds in the video.
I wonder why that happens.
I wonder why that happens. I wonder why that happened. Okay, that's what he sounds like. Okay. I wonder, society would instantly and dramatically improve if we took the bottom 5-10 most R-worded kids out of the school and put them in the coal mines instead. Almost all Western cultural problems are derived from adherence to the false god of equality. I don't think there's a single thing this man has ever said that has ever been even remotely beneficial to society. It's disturbing to me that so many people watch him because that means there are more people as fucking dumb as him. And that scares me. I will never forget this. I never forget things, okay? When he said that Palestinians are a lesser race of people while sitting in a room filled with fucking garbage and filth. Thank you, police officers. Something that will never come out of my mouth ever. I don't know what this sign. It's a bunch of likely autistic children who signed this sign. It says some message I can't read. And then it's a police car that has the autism written on the side and the autism puzzle blocks everywhere. I would actually prefer if these replaced all police cars, then at least I could see them coming. I don't know. This is just hilarious in so many different ways, obviously, because, well, police officers, they like to kill people, and one of those groups of people that they like to kill a lot are people with mental illnesses because they don't know how to handle mental health crises because they're trained to view everything as a threat, and they only are trained for like a month. Then they go out and kill people. So that's just incredibly ironic that anyone with autism would be thanking a cop. How about I shave your fucking head off? How about I shave all your hair off your head? How would you like that, huh? That's what I'm gonna do to you, okay? I'm gonna shave your fucking head bald. You little fucking naked cat. That's what you're gonna look like when I'm done with you, okay? No one's ever gonna like you ever again. You're gonna be hideous. How would you like that, huh? This one, I have something to say about it, not necessarily because of the tweet itself, but because of who tweeted this tweet. So this is some sort of, I don't know, Israeli news thing, I don't know. But it's tweeted in Hebrew, okay? Translated, it says, there is no such thing as autism. It is the avoidance of something, the avoidance of a dynamic social interaction. Galit Distel told Moran Azulay in a word I can't read about the long journey she went through with her son. I pulled him by the hair. Okay, whoa. I actually do have something to say about this. I pulled him by the hair and took him out. I did not let him eat And I did not let him drink. I did not give him anything. He forced himself to learn to speak in order to survive. And that is completely normal behavior. It's in line with the rest of the nation of Israel, right? It's in line with the rest of it, because keep in mind, these are the same people who defend raping people with metal poles. The thing I wanted to say about this really badly when I first saw this is the first thing I just thought to myself is there's this thing that Israeli officials do where on their official accounts, they'll tweet something in English and it will be, you know, hasbara, it'll be stupid, whatever, right? It's bad, etc., right? But it's more tame in some way because they're trying to, you know, propagandize their English-speaking audience, which their English-speaking audience, you know, the UK and the US are their biggest funders, okay? So that's important that they do that because they need the US on their side. They need the UK on their side, okay? But if you ever do, like, translate Israeli officials' tweets when they're in Hebrew, the shit that they are saying to each other is batshit fucking insane. There'll be like a tweet in Hebrew, right? From this Israeli official, whoever the fuck, right? You'll click the translate option and they'll be like, well, someone did actually say this one, the war between the children of light and darkness, okay? They'll say, like, they'll literally just outright say, we need to kill every Palestinian. They'll just say it in Hebrew. So this is not surprising to me. They will say the most whack-ass shit because they know the only people who are reading it are mostly Israelis. But this tweet in itself is actually fucking insane. One of my theories is that parents getting tattoos before becoming pregnant have more children that have autism. Well, neither of my parents have tattoos. Well, would you look at me? Every day I'm on Instagram, posting about Leon Kennedy. Actually, in fact, when I finish this video, I'm going to take my phone out of the tripod it's in right now, and I'm going to watch the dozen edits of Leon Kennedy that I have saved on my phone at least one time with my headphones on to maximize the listening experience. And I'm going to giggle and hee-hee and kick my feet. And then I'm going to do that same exact thing before I go to bed tonight. And then I'm going to do that same exact thing tomorrow morning. And then I'm going to do it midday tomorrow. I'm going to do it before I go to bed tomorrow night too. I've watched some of these edits at least 40 times. Bring back bullying is said by bullies, not people who were bullied. I would personally agree with that. This person says, nah, I was bullied and I'm a functioning human now. Kids these days need to stop being coddled and learn some shame. And in this person who posted this, their bio, what is this? What are they, Native American too? Okay, pro-Palestine, okay? You already got two things that are gonna get you bullied. In their bio, what is this? He. You wanna bring back bullying? Also, just looking at this person, and I'm not saying this to shame them, I'm genuinely just pointing this out. You look like someone who would get bullied. You're a fully functioning human right now? I don't think you are. Clearly the bullying, the conditioning to normalcy did not work for you because you don't look like an average person. You look alternative. I don't think it worked that well for you. This one, the next one I saved, I posted this on my Instagram story a few weeks ago. You might have seen it if you follow me on Instagram. I would say tell you to go follow my Instagram. I would prefer if you go become a Patreon though. On my Patreon, because there you actually give me money. I make no money from Instagram because I'm not an influencer shelling you things, so there's no money for me in that. Anyway, so I posted this on my Instagram story a while ago because I saw it and I thought it was really funny, and I was like, that's me. So it's this meme, right? Me thinking it's normal to listen to the same song 272 times. Autism in the back, right? Very funny, right? Because I listened to The Devil and I by Slipknot, I think almost 300 times last year. I think I've listened to it almost 300 times this year so far. If you guys remember that this was really popular in 2019. There's a song, Roses. There was a remix of it that came out. It was really popular. And I vividly remember one night I was sitting on the floor of my room playing on my PlayStation because video games are one of my special interests. And I'm playing my PlayStation. I listened to that song on repeat for a half hour. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. This is such a very specific song. There's no way I'm making this up, guys. I listened to that song for a half hour because I loved the way that song sounded. The Devil and I by Slipknot. It's genuinely not a joke. I listen to that song at least once a day. At least once a day. I have not lived my day unless I have played that song at least once. When I was first listening to all of Slipknot's discography, when I got to their song All Hope Is Gone on the album, All Hope Is Gone, I like that song so much. I listened to that song 15 times in a row. You know who doesn't do that? anybody else I know. Because none of them have autism. Someone quote retweets us and has to open their mouth. It's normal. Stop with this shit. So you do that too? You listen to the same song that many times. Let's say in a month, you listen to the same song 300 times. I don't think people understand how much you have to play a song, especially a 6.5-minute song. That's like levels of insane special interest. And also, people don't understand this about autism. You can have audio stims. You can listen to something over and over again because you like the way it sounds. I didn't know this before, but I guess when I repeat phrases that people say in certain accents over and over again, that's actually not something most people do. And if you're gonna comment like this person, it's normal. Actually, I do that too. So you say, yeah, baby, 20 times a day. You do that? I feel bad for you. Maybe you should see a psychologist. The most relevant replies: stop acting like every little quirk is a sign you have mental illness. Stop romanticizing mental illness. Autism isn't a mental illness. By the way, this is not romanticizing. This is joking about something you experience. It's not romanticization. Romanticization is taking something that's objectively terrible and making it seem like it's all fun and go lucky. If you have something that affects you and you want to joke about it and it affects you and you're joking about something that affects you, that's not romanticizing, that's having a fun time. So I don't have a mental illness? Well, check with your doctor, but most likely, no. And that's a good thing. Something to be thankful for if you have a mental disorder. Yeah, and I agree with you. Who are you to diagnose this random person who posted a meme? That's all they did was post a meme. And you're like, they don't have autism, blah, 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 stop saying this, it's normal, right? Well, if you have that trait and just that, sure, maybe you don't have autism. If you do that and like a ton of other things that all link to the same thing, maybe there's a pattern there. I think we all need to chill a little bit. Well, that's it for me and that's it for this video. Comment down below anything you thought about this video. What'd you have to say? Do you have a personal opinion on my own personal life? Please feel free to share it down below. And if it's aggressive, I mean double points for you. I'd like to give a special shout out to my Patreon members who are part of my Alpha and Delta tiers. Thank you so much to Dallas Andrade, Lisbeth Ruiz, and Emberly McCooley. I really appreciate your continued support. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. If you want to become a patron, the link will be down below. By the time you're seeing this video, I should have uploaded a video where I discuss all of my favorite video games of all time. There's a series I'm doing where I'm discussing my favorite media. I uploaded last month my favorite albums of all time. It's basically just me nerding out about things I really, really love. And well, if you've gotten anything out of this video, you should know that I love to talk about things that I really, really love. So if you want to check that out, the link will be in the description. All the benefits of the tiers are available. If you click the link on my Patreon, you can check them all out. Really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like me, you can subscribe. I post videos about whatever I feel like talking about. So if that sounds like your thing, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you know when I post a video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. More importantly, I really hope I see you in the next video. You'll be there, right?